Hey everybody, welcome back to Academy Rush. It is a Friday night, and it is a beautiful night for League of Legends. I'm Rivington III, bringing you this one live. It is going to be Golden Guardians Academy versus Immortals Academy, and they are ready and raring to go. As we see him on the Rift, sets on. The ring has been laid down. Who will go into the cage with him? It's going to be Alorum and topside with the Pantheon. Pantheon was picked in that first set of picks and bans, which we'll have up on your screen in a bit possibly. But with that, they were saying, you know what, we see set, we want something that can go against it already. And Alorum said, that could be Pantheon. Syndra is back in the mix. As you see, Insanity has that on the Rift. And we have the Lovers duo bot lane here for Immortals, for Apollo and Gate, and Xayah and Rakan. Those two were picked up as the last few for their side over on blue. And looking over at Golden Guardian squad, Blaze Olive picked up the Orianna last, wanted to see what was happening on the Rift, and that Soraka coming in on the bot side with Huhi's Senna. This is what we're going to be looking at quite a bit here as well. Obviously, the set on the top side, this guy is 100% back and forth, whether he's in, whether he's not, but somebody wants to get a piece of set on the Rift. But definitely looking at Soraka on the bot side as well. We saw Wonder playing this over in the LEC today on the top side of the map, so let's see how this one goes. Huhi usually in that support position. They're going to get a grand entrance to start things off here on the bot side. A little bit of a trade back. And a tip for Tad is I'd say the damage trade is even, but both to Apollo and Gate, they'll be able to heal that back up. A few of these gleaming quills from Gate as they get those levels in. Still nice aggressive start, trying to set the tempo of the lane. Apollo, a very, very seasoned marksman. He'll be able to do what he can to keep that CS up. Garika, first real chance here out of Challenger of the collegiate scene, being able to play on an LCS type stage and even get those chances as Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays come. So for him to get these chances but also showcase his talent outside of a marksman pool is awesome. The fact that he's on Soraka right now, we'll see how that fares for the team. Is the Doran's ring for him to start with some potions, so it looks like they do want to get a bit of aggression on the bot side. Set brings a lot of damage, Jarvan brings a lot of damage, and then Senna will too. But looking at that, you have AP between the Soraka and the Orianna, and I like that. Zion Spartan back in the game. Obviously, we've seen him since 2012, as we're talking a bit about how the abilities synergize here. Soraka resets the fight. She gets that redemption build. She can throw down the star call, or throw down her ultimate, I should say, the wish. And then she gets everybody reset, kind of just stops whatever Immortals does. Set also has that Haymaker shield that almost doubles up as a reset for himself. He's going hard, he can keep going, and he knows with Garika on that heal, he can just keep going even harder. Alorum, pushing back and forth, knows that Set can get pretty good early damage in with those Qs as he gets the punches in, 1-2, and the 3-4, just a quick left-right. And junglers on their respective sides still to start off. Still going to be pushed up. I think Zion Spartan can tell that, yeah, we have a Lee Sin towards top side is how aggressive Alorum is right now. It's obviously not a champion you can zero out in Pantheon. So Zion Spartan isn't going to be definitely going for the kills right away anyways. Safe in lanes, 25 to 19 is CS down here, 25 to 17 up top, but Zion has quite a bit to clean up. Looking at how these fights could go, the engage comes from that Pantheon in disruption when you have Gate running around in his ultimate, in that quickness. And I like quickness for Set as well. He can pull out that Haymaker whenever he gets that pit grit stacked up. Throws out his W, makes sure he has a big shield, decays over 3 seconds if it's not getting hit. Little aggression on the bot side as they go for Huhi once again. They want to get that damage out of the lane, and they feel like they can do that quicker if they go right for Huhi. Huhi has barrier. He can bait in a lot of these plays. They have to be very careful of how much aggression they're putting in there. Summoners are still up. You can go in and out very easily with Xayah and Rakan, so that's the ability they're using. No reason to pick those champions on the bot side and just, hey, we can farm and we can stay safe. But still, talking about that top side, how these initiations can happen. I love the quickness for Set. Stop him from throwing haymakers. Stop him from throwing face breakers and everything he can. So he can't get that showstopper down, and then he basically dies. But do you have time to focus Set? You have to look at the rest of the fight. You're getting silenced. You could be displaced by Orianna. So it's going to be very tricky for Immortals to cause enough chaos for Alorum to find a way in that counts, right? Ulting with Pantheon becomes a little bit more difficult now as it's fully right into that channel. You do get to slide a bit, so you got to choose the right direction. And we'll see how they put that together. Maybe Potluck starts off a few fights, and Alorum doesn't have that much ulting to do throughout the game, right? He's just playing a side lane. Here, flag and drag over to Alorm. He throws down the shield. He's going to be able to keep himself safe, even with the haymaker damage coming through at the end. He's going to clean up these minions at the turret. Pretty safe all around the map as we're seeing a bit of fighting, but nothing is coming up with the first blood. Vision towards the top side for a Blaze Olive here. He can start to play towards hard. Gets an idea that Insanity has backed. Most likely get a quick TP back to lane for him. And they don't see that anything is down on the bottom side. Blue is cleared. He might have got an eye on Gromp there with the Scryer's Bloom knock, but Gate walked up into the river here, giving Potluck a little bit of an advantage if he did get aggressed on. But they didn't see anything bot. Potluck says, hey, Dragon, we're going to take Mountain to start. 2 more, we'll figure out what your soul is on the Rift and how it's going to change the game. As the TP back towards the top side for Alorm as well is just used up. Nice deep wards placed in by Hard. Conqueror on that Jarvan, Conqueror on that Lee Sin. If they're going to get into the fight, they're going to get that stacked up and try to heal as they can go toe-to-toe. Still pushing in, though. Hard says, we'll stay bottom. Since he took Dragon, I just heard that go down. I'm going to deplete as much of his jungle as I can and punish the bottom lane. Garika and Hugi can't do much here if they know their jungler isn't there for help. And that's what Potluck knows, too. Potluck coming over, you know, as a coach saying, I want to play again. I want to get, you know, out of this position and put my hands back into the pie. If that's what playing is for you, I guess. It's a weird way to say it. Hard here towards the top side. Face breaker, solo, showstopper coming out as level 6 on the top side. Flag and drag once again. Now looking good for Alorm this time as he's walking out. The haymaker comes through, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, he stops it. Shields out the damage. Alorm is, or Blaze Olive just below him. Command move is there, waiting on the minions. They're trying to get the next wave in here. It's only a matter of time, and it's going to be a one-shot coming in from Command Shockwave. First blood going over to a Blaze Olive. They were working the map beautifully. Yeah, their bot lane was getting pushed, but Hard said, well, if they're making a move on our bot, let's make a move on top. Let's bring mid up. Let's get that to happen. We're seeing the same thing on bot side. They're trying to mirror for Immortals here, and we'll see if they can do it. A back off for Gorka, a back off for Huhi. They have a lot of ways to stay safe. Very tough to gank this lane. You can be silenced from range. You can be locked down by Huhi from range, which then if you're near your teammates, locks them down. So there's a chance just this crowd control spreads that Golden Guardians has in the bot lane. And to try and gank that, it looked great to start off. Pollock gets Drake, Mountain's fantastic, then they go bot side. But to get the kill top and have that 3-man work instead of 4 going bot, fantastically done. So see if Golden Guardians can keep that pressure going. They did get a few plates on the bot side. You can't say Immortals got away with nothing. They definitely have some money towards their ADs. An Executioner's Calling along with that BS sword. So they are taking that healing into consideration that Gorka and Hu here are able to do. Gorika almost going down immediately. We saw Alorm coming in. As soon as they get 6, they want to ult. So it doesn't even look like they're really trying to say cause chaos. Pantheon, if you can go in, that's all the chaos we need. And Alorm is more than happy to do that. Moving over towards Rift Herald. First one, Shelly. See how she takes to this one. Just looking at Alorm's stats over the past few. TSM and FlyQuest were Immortals past 2 games. They are 1-1 in the standings currently. And Alorm had that 8-0-3 Urgot to start it off. Fantastic play. Pretty much put the team on his back. 9v1. Not that his team was playing bad. He just said, no, this is my game. And what is this fight we got going topside? Immortals is able to get themselves to safety. It did look like they wanted a bit of a fight, maybe a flash, maybe a summoner spell before they went back for Rift Herald. And I like how Golden Guardians is thinking, push it to the max and see how your opponent reacts. They just pushed him off of this, and it's going to be GG's Herald to start things off. Very nicely done. That kill top and Herald. Mountain still over to Immortals. If they can keep an eye on those objectives, it is a way to change the game, and you don't know what Soul is going to be just yet. We have a Mountain and Ocean coming up next. That always helps to have at any point in the game. And then looking at, going back to just how the teams played throughout, as I was talking about Alorm. Pantheon last game versus FlyQuest, and their loss. So he takes the Pantheon again. Almost wants a redemption. He was 3-3-1 in that loss against FlyQuest, rather, in week 1. So we'll see how he does again this time. Lee Sin and Jarvan for Potluck, so he sees the other jungler that he's been playing on the Rift, along with 2 Lee Sin plays here. So comfortability coming in, as we said, for Insanity. He gets to play Syndra back in the mix this week. Was fixed out, so that feels good. And now blue buff, first blue buff. Remember that Orianna shockwave got a bit more damage. It's nice to go in on level 6 now without an item, and he is going to get a good bit of damage down. A nice command dissonance and move, but not enough distance to stop that unleashed power from killing him if he took another turret shot. Alorm now towards the mid lane. He does not have ult just yet, and top is being pushed by Immortals. Nicely done to take control back as bot lane is being pushed up. They got to make things, or they got to make sure things are set into motion. And now they're going to be heading for top lane. They can't just be trying to chase kills if mid lane is going down. So Alorm is now saying, I'm everywhere and I'll try to be where I can, even if my ult is not up. His teleport's going to be coming up soon. He's getting pressured off of the Raptors even here by a Blaze Olive, so it looks like they're not having fun at all as Golden Guardians feel like we can own the map from a distance. We can really give Immortals trouble in taking any resources that they have. Wards haven't been pushed up too far. We do see that one down by Raptors that helps Golden Guardians figure out what Immortals is doing, but Immortals, Wards, pushed up towards the top side are mostly on their own defensive side. They're looking to protect them right now, not get into the side of Golden Guardians, so you can see how the pace of the game is flowing there. Having been pushed up, bottom second tier is taken down by Golden Guardians as they make quick work of the map. It seems like off of that top play, they were kind of able to swing around a little bit better, figure out where they wanted to go. It worked for them, and then start moving themselves around. Alorm has kind of been trying to find his footing after, still has a decent amount of CS, but wants that fight. They want to find this composition where you can use Gate, you can use Insanity. Alorm is in there helping the team and get this death ball moving. Every time that Golden Guardians is able to get together and coordinate a fight, you're getting heals on heals. It's going to be very difficult to make a fight work in your favor. Ignite is on Gate. Executioner's calling already for Apollo. But man, he has a stopwatch very, very early. Let's see where they decide to go with this one. Let's take stock of Immortals, actually Golden Guardian side, I should say. Seeing Zion Spartan in the top side, as I was saying before. Started comp in 2012, competitive play. A lot of these players started a long, long time ago, actually. If you remember, the Monomaniac is back. All the teams that he used to play for, Team Dynamic Coast. He's been around the scene for a while, so you have so much to offer to a team here. And now being able to play champions like Sett, it reminds me of him being back on fighters like the Jax, being able to control and take over a lane. 0-0-1 leaves you the option, that window still open to make a play. And right now he's controlling the bottom side of the map. His team could call for help, teleport it up for him and for Alorm, who might see that happen. A little bit of mid lane fun right now as we get the ARAM rolling. Pantheon coming back down. This is kind of the perfect place for Pantheon to want to fight. If you're going to sit in mid lane and try and go back and forth, he is going to feel great ulting through that lane. They see one ablaze. Oh! Misses the flash, and they're going to be able to take him out. Senna ult coming through. Shield's not going to help with the damage. Well, Ablaze still going down as he gets taken out by Apollo. Damage goes forward as Huhi and Hard are taking quite a bit. Alorm's able to fend them off, and now they might be in a bad spot. Can Golden Guardians turn this one around? Immortals finding a way to get into that fight and take down a Blaze Olive. I thought it was going to be turned around as Hard came in, as Huhi and Gorka were able to heal, but no way, Jose. Immortals able to fully see how that fight would begin and end, and after taking down a Blaze Olive and knowing his flash was there, it's almost a confidence boost to light the fuse and say, we have so much chaos created in this fight that Golden Guardians is out of place. When you know that somebody has been that far out of place, they got a flash and they're not in the right spot after that flash, the rest of Golden Guardians is trying to react in a split second. They don't have time to plan. So beautiful job by Immortals to continue going on that fight and figure out the targets they needed to hit. Only one on a Blaze. Feels good though. We were talking about where's the 5? Where can Gate get in? When's it going to happen? Well, it looks like Golden Guardians opened that window for it to happen. GLP, Super Soakers on both sides for Insanity and a Blazed Olive. I like it. First item's finished up there. Blaze Olive going for the Merc Dreads. Obviously does not want to get zeroed out by Insanity's Scatter the Weak into Unleash Power during that laning phase. So you have to gotta put some money where it counts, get a return on investment on that magic resistance, a little bit of the tenacity, and he'll be able to stay safe. Always feels kind of bad when you gotta build Ori that way. You're very supportive, but also you always have fun when you get a blue buff. You have a good amount of damage items, and you can dance around a team and just take them out like the ballerina that Ori is. Like clockwork, if you will. 15 minutes on that clock. 5 minutes for Baron. seen one Rift Herald be picked up. And we have the second one spawning quite soon. 1 minute and 20 on a Infernal. So we're going to have an Infernal coming up. Obviously on the Rift has already changed. We'll see who can draw more power from that. And we'd love to have that on a Lee Sin, on a Pantheon, on Apollo, and Insanity. You're not going to get Infernal off your star call, but it's okay. Bananas, fiery bananas. Better watch out. Watch out. They're slippery. So Blaze, there's that blue buff I was talking about. Now he can kind of tango in a 1v1 situation as long as you don't get caught as Ori. You feel great from a little out of arm's reach. The moment you're caught, you realize, why was I ever in this situation? Alorum not having too much vision other than a pink ward on the bot side means he's going to back off. And Golden Guardians overall, as we look at this team, are undefeated. A 2-0 on their season so far to start the spring. 100 Thieves and Cloud9 in their victories. You can look across the map for win number 1 against 100 Thieves. As it looks like we're setting up a fight here towards the middle top side of the map. I want to get a little bit of pressure on GG. Looks like they have the darkness going in, all hiding within that Senna ability, and they're going to go for Gate. Gate is the one that can shut down the set, so they want to kill him first. It is going to be the quickness going in. There's Alorum, and he just swipes over the entire team. Oh my god, GG gets obliterated. That's the combo they had been waiting for, and all of Golden Guardians piled together. Shelly's in mid lane, Rift Herald for Immortals, and they are going to be chugging down the tracks for this inhibitor turret. What an initiation, what a fight, and what a catch to pop out of mid, go right for Gate, make sure that he could not do anything to stop the fight. And as soon as they did, oh my god, it was absolutely turned around. I'm pretty wowed by that one. I love the fight and how GG tried to get in on that. They said, we need this. We absolutely need this. And I guess they needed to figure out where Alorum was coming from. Wow. I was speechless after how quick that happens. Usually you don't get those wombo combos in a game. That was absolutely the cow ball. Things like that is when you see that. You get the unstoppable force. But man, Alorum coming in on top of everything. Gate was able to get that ult off just at the last second. I mean, you can't fault Golden Guardians for wanting to fly out of the brush, get that initiation. That was fantastic. You don't know who's gonna get hit first. You're all kind of waiting around. Oh my word. So what's the way they pop Gate? They have to, as soon as he can get off the silence, he can move. He can do whatever he wants. Maybe you have to get him within the ultimate, but then he can jump out of Jarvan. But this is a slippery team, and I love what Immortals is doing. 18-12 on the clock, 4-2. And that Herald used in the mid lane means we will now get a Baron before we get another Heraldine on the map. 4K gold lead. Coming up on 5 now in the favor of Immortals. And they have turned around everything that happened in that early game without being able to get a kill on the bot side, getting pushed off of the Rift Herald in the beginning. They have just turned everything around. Second Herald was a really big payoff for them. 2-0-2 for Apollo. Coming up big, Aphelios, no, I'm sorry, looking at the wrong one. Ezreal, 4-0-9 in his first game. Senna, 0-2-4. So Apollo went up, then he went down. The roller coaster is climbing back up. It's going to be a ride. This game looked good for him, and he feels like he's on top. I got that Essence Reaver finish along with a bit of damage as the Blazed Olive is doing the tango with Alorum here on the top side of the map. Whoa! Gate! That is ambitioso. I love it. Oh no, did he just walk to his death? The escape is usually the escape, but he walked into his death. Oh no, it was so good. It was so good until it wasn't. If only he could have made it in between the turrets without that much damage, it would have been fantastic. But Potluck comes through. I like Gate. Gate was like, I am fast enough to catch him. No, maybe not. It's all you. Don't worry, Potluck. You got it. So we do see a Blaze Olive going down. He doesn't use any summoner spells on the way out. I wouldn't either. Unless you get to that second tier turret, you're not going to make too much work. Coming up on 20 minutes, we are going to see the Baron, and Immortals has now set the pace for themselves. I said it was Golden Guardians with the top lane gank, saving themselves on the bot. but the fights are happening a little too fast with a little too much follow-up damage for Golden Guardians to get this healing out. You have heal on heal for Soraka, summoner spell on top of her W, and then the wish, with a heal and a barrier as who he wants to stay alive. So he's being kind of the receiver of the heals, knowing he has to stay going in the fights here, but not too much damage on his side as he keeps going. Jump up. But they do have the wards. A lot of what Immortals has right now needs to be kind of pushed up in their vision. GG needs to replace as Immortals are walking over free space and a lot of darkness. There's a few more wards coming from Golden Guardians. It's just going to be a wash if that happens again. If I like what they actually have in wards over by the Raptor or kind of by the Dragon Pit, because you could see a Lorem coming in from a distance, but if he's going to be in your face, you really don't need to place those wards. There's a shot. Click for Blaze Olive back. I don't think they're going to get a pretty good engage here. Gate tries to go in, but he is going to pull himself back as well. So they got a few ultimates out of that, and Immortals hesitated as much as I did on that initiation and cast. We'll see if they go back in again. It is not going to be Drake for too long. They'll be able to set up some vision here, and then they'll be able to take it out if they don't decide to leave. Trying to move around that Scuttle Crab vision just for now, and Zion Spartan's going to work the top side. 180, 101 on the set. Triforce into the Negatron Cloak. He's trying to keep himself tanky, trying to keep himself big. He had an Aatrox play against 100 Thieves, a Mordekaiser play against Cloud9. Both were pretty decent. Not a win, not a loss, but he played towards the top side of the map and pulled pressure, was able to deny pressure. One of the things that Zion Spartan is great at doing is staying alive in really hairy situations. Here now they're trying to go on to the team, and they take down Garika. Beautifully done as they start to just take GG apart one by one. It looks so good for a while, but now if IMT can find them one by one again, they're back into the base. Oof. I thought Golden Guardians would have a little bit of freedom as they moved out into the fog of war. They are undefeated in the LCS. The confidence moves into the early game for them, but it seems like they're shook here now that the mid game is not starting to go their way. A 6,000 gold deficit means that Immortals can start Baron right in front of Golden Guardian. Shockwave is up. There's no follow-up to really find there. Zion Spartan can't really get in unless there's, like I say, a bit of chaos. If he's zeroed out, or if he's the first one that they can see, I should say, he's easy to zero out. Blaze Olive on the other side. We've seen Ori steal Baron. She has quite a bit there. Dissonance goes down. They're going to throw quite a bit at it. Oh my god, she takes it. A Blaze Olive steals the Baron. Golden Guardians keep themselves alive for a moment. Hard's into the fight. He's trying to do what he can. Zion Spartan in the back throwing haymakers. If he can knock enough up, he can get the damage in, but it isn't. They have bought their time, though. Gorika's going to get out. Will he, though? That's the question. Potluck gets pushed back. And it looks like Potluck's going down. Do they get anybody out with Baron? Yes, they do. Huhi running down the mid lane as the champion. If they can get Hard out, it's even better. Blast Cone to safety. Flag and drag over the wall. He's going to try to juke Insanity out of this one, but he knows he's not left. Oh my god, they get two out with Baron. What a play. That is disgusting. Immortals is going to be able to go after another Infernal, but I cannot believe it. The amount of times we have seen Orianna steal a Baron, you have to be aware of that. You cannot look to burst that in front of an Ori. There's no reason that you are already that far ahead. The game isn't over for Immortals now, but there's no reason to chance a 50-50 like that, ever. We'll take a fight that gives you the 70-30. And even in that chance, if the Ori's still alive, that 70-30 is 60-40. Like, make sure you know who's about to fight for the Baron. I digress. We move on. 4-0-4 for Apollo, 3-0-5 for Insanity. But let's look over here at Golden Guardians. They are looking at so much bounty in the hands of Immortals. But can they take the Immortal members down? They just had a hell of a fight. That was shock and awe, but it wasn't really on their terms. And we saw that fight almost kind of go in the favor of Golden Guardians in the pit when they were down numbers. That fight only went to the way of Immortals as they pieced out, pieced together and ran out of the pit and were able to find Golden Guardians straggling. So if this fight happens 5, I think it's going to be huge. We also didn't get much of a Lorem out of that one in his ultimate. He's kind of in the fight, in the pit, making sure it happens the way it should for Pantheon, but you want to protect with that shield. You don't want to be jumping in. So I can't blame anybody for not using abilities that they could have used there. What a hectic fight. Now you have to keep a razor's eye on this and figure out what's going to happen. Blaze Olive gets hit back. Oh, he almost gets taken down to Sanity. He is going to stay, Blaze Olive rather stays alive, and Sanity goes down. Pilok now under the turret. He probably could go down another shot, but he stays alive with the Triumph heal coming back. Here's Golden Guardians now pushing out. They're the ones who get to piecemeal the fight together. And Immortals starts to separate. You see what happens, how strong the Golden Guardians can actually be here, even without that Baron on them. Who he's still running forward with it. And man, what a fight. What a fight. Whew, on that Razor's Edge. And we're going to see again Golden Guardians able to fend off what could have been a game-ending attack. That Baron gets taken, rush down mid lane. Immortals have a team that can just rush through this. I mean, point to me right now, who on the side of Golden Guardians is going to clear a Baron wave? Exactly. Not a single person. So if they actually get a whole lot of Baron minions in their base, it's going to be impossible for Golden Guardians to really get those waves sorted out. They saved themselves a hell of a lot of trouble. This is a game that they are now back in and breathing off the Iron Lung. 5,000 gold lead still, but we're seeing impact plays come around. It would help to have a few more items coming in. A finished one for Huhi, if he can get that other lethality item down. It will be very big for him. Titanic onto Zion Spartan. He's starting to get huge. Still sitting on the Negatron cloak, so he has a bit of magic resist in his pocket. He knows he's going to need that, so they're not like, hey, by the way, Insanity, just go for Zion Spartan. He's trying to get, as Captain Flowers would say, a little bit of that garage sale purchase going, and he's going to keep it for a while. Somebody had a cloak. He liked it. It was cheap. Put it in your pocket. Sterix as well finished up over on the side of Alorum. He'll look for that Sterix Gauge Rage as he jumps in, gets popped, and starts shredding with the Black Cleaver. A few sources to shred with that Black Cleaver, so you see the feathers coming in, doing a bit more damage. This 4, 0, and 6 Apollo. Bounty on Insanity was picked up in the previous fight. We were talking about how Golden Guardians could get that money. Start increasing that return on investment a little bit more. Where's the next fight on this? Look at how many wards and how much control Immortals have. They've set up basically a light bright here in this side of the jungle that should be Golden Guardians, and it's about the protection fight for Golden Guardians now. And I'd say that's almost where their team wants to be. Yeah, they can siege turrets, but if you're trying to get in on a team who can reset a fight, you're not in a terrible position for Golden Guardian shoes. Soul's getting picked up by Huhi here. Let me hop over to this gentleman and see what he has in terms of souls for you. And it's not coming up for me. Of course. I gotta back up. He has 103 souls currently, so he's rocking quite a few. He has that necessary range going up. Critical Strike and Lifesteal being added. It always feels good. You can't complain. You cannot complain whatsoever. 105 range, or 125 range, 105 attack damage currently. And that goes with the Q, right? Duskblade on the side of Huhi will be that next item finished off. Other support side, we see Apollo. He's got his 3 main items, and he's had that Executioner's Calling for quite some time. Zeke's Convergence on top of the Redemption here. So Gate can give a little bit more healing to his team. You can't fight healing without a bit of healing, especially the amount that Soraka has. It's not a known fact, right? You can definitely fight healing without healing, just not Soraka's healing. Let's put that identifier in there. Ward's going out right now. IMT just seems to have so many in their pockets. A lot of them still sitting on trinkets. That's going to be Infernal. Beautiful job over to the red team. Hard's able to take it. Here comes Alorum into the fight. Are they able to get this one? Gate's going to have to get a good quickness down. Zion Spartan's in the front of the fight, and it looks like he's going to die now. Haymaker goes out. Where's the return on the team, though? Huhi Ablaze, they cannot deliver the damage. It just looks like IoT isn't taking any, and there it is. Is that the showstopper to the back line? It is. At the follow-up. Can it happen from Golden Guardians? Ablaze is in the front. Pull the ball forward. Command move, but not enough. Oh, Pollock's burning down. Leandres leaves him with just about 2 HP. Now they're on to Apollo, Allure, and Insanity. It's 4 in the river, and they cannot catch any members of IMT. What a back and forth. You can see the consideration being put into every fight as Zion Spartan comes in, becomes the Zanya's Haymakers, and then finds his way into the fight. Not at first. Not the first one to the back. Like we said, when everybody can say, hey, there he is, Zion's in the back. That's the one we need to focus. He's waiting for everything to happen. Man, The back and forth in these fights does not tell me who is going to be winning currently. The Infernal Drakes over to the side of IMT, an Ocean Infernal over the side of Zion Spartan, and now we are on sole point for Immortals after these Drakes. It is absolutely incredible. 36 minutes into the game if you want to. 4-0 and 8 potluck. 5-0 and 6 for Apollo. We talked a little bit about potluck earlier for Immortals. His Lee Sin in TSM week 1 game, 4-4 and 10. So he played pretty well on that. He was definitely able to control the map. And I think what you get out of potluck as being a coach is you don't get yelled at as a coach or a jungler. So he's always in the lanes trying to help. But he also tracks the other jungler I've seen. He definitely has a good mind for figuring out where they are, being at their buff, when not just when they're at their buff. Those easy timings in the early game aren't something to be awarded for, but just being able to make sure mid lane's pushed at that time, bot lane's pushed. You have advantage over the map, so there really isn't retaliation that you're going to be facing. We've seen Potluck be able to do that quite a bit, and his initiations in this game as well have brought the team a lot of cash money. 31 minutes on the clock, 13 and 6. And it looks like Golden Guardians again are feeling a little bit of freedom. They get themselves out of the base. They want to place wards. That's beautiful. Alorum's ult is out. If they can get Gorka out of the or Greek out of the situation, they get themselves to safety, and they do all of those good things. Gorika safe. Heals coming up for him. Flash is down for who he flashed for Blaze Olive. And Gates flash. Just looking at a few of the priority ones that would keep a lot of these damage dealers alive, a lot of the people that can make a shock and awe moment happen. And again, we're going for Baron. I kind of like this one for IMT now. The game's a little bit more even. You're not going to find a spot to easily get into the side of the base of GG, so you need these minions. Remember that win condition. Who on the side of Golden Guardians is going to clear Baron minions? Who is going to help Zion Spartan? First Haymaker coming out. It's not going to have a lot of grip behind it, but this next one might. He can't get it off in time. Apollo takes down Zion right in front of the turret hard. He's tanking damage, and Insanity drops him with Unleashed Power. Way too hard for Golden Guardians. They've been waiting so long, and they pushed themselves over the edge to find that fight. Fortunate for IMT, they read it, they find what they needed to do, and they get the Baron they have needed for so long in this game. We'll see what happens when they get to the base of Golden Guardians now, but Immortals playing it patiently on that one, baiting with the Baron, but that early vision right in front of them, right in front of the Baron pit, allowed them to know the distance of Golden Guardians and how much they could pull off, saying, oh, Zion's how far from the team? Let's make this happen. What a way to plan it out. It only took a little bit of time, but we have seen they set a precedent on the side of Golden Guardians. Each time they've had a bit of room, they come out, they clear 1 or 2 wards, but they don't put down too many. We can see that top side of the map is absolutely clear at this point. Obviously things are being placed bot, but running forward in that aggressive state, you're placing vision you want to use immediately, not vision that's made you privy to something that's happening, so you're still playing reactive. That's where IMT caught Golden Guardians off. Let's see how much Immortals has placed in front of them, though. Are they just saying, hey, we have Baron minions, now we want to fight in mid? Are they going to split this? Are they going to spread it? And it looks like they are going to put Alorum towards the bot side, so nicely done. Playing it patient. They don't have to just get a big fight down. I'm sure GG would love to get into 5v5. They are in a death ball right now. They do have the ability to engage. Imagine Hard coming out of that soul, that ghoul passive as they run around out of Senna. It just is kind of terrifying. Looking at levels around the map, 17 for Alorum. Highest in the game right now. They're going to get a fight right now, though, on 2. It looks like Alorum there. I couldn't tell if that was Zion's partner or Alorum for a second. I was like, wait. That's the blue side. Oh, nice job by Hardy. Takes the back line, so Alorum's going to be by himself. Potluck kicks one out, but it doesn't hit the entire team, but they're still under Gorka. They want to take the Soraka out. They drop Puhi first. There's 3 people up on this guy. Help Gorika out. Oh, my word. The way they went after the back line is like a nightmare. Immortals absolutely knowing what they need to do in these fights, and there's not much you can do as the front line of Golden Guardians. You can look behind you only so often to say what's going on back there, but man, did Immortals go deep. But Blaze Olive coming back through. Can he get another steal on a big objective here? The ult is down, but the dissonance is up. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me! This is wild! A Blaze Olive absolutely putting this game on his back. Saves the soul, gonna get himself out, and again, keeps the game alive for Golden Guardians. 18-8, we're coming up on 35 minutes in. I think we're gonna have a little bit more. The Infernal Soul point now for both teams. At 7,000 gold lead for Immortals. At this point, you have to be questioning where you're going wrong. What's going wrong? And are you giving the other team too much time to place vision, get themselves out? No, it's not. You're allowing your objectives to be stolen. Stop it. Oh my word. There is an easy way to stop that. Don't let them be stolen. There we go. Perfect. Now that we've gone over that, let us move forward. We're looking at what could be a soul now coming into the side of Golden Guardians. I think if Immortals just use these ult advantages that they have, you can just round up the entire team with Gate and get yourself into a fight that your team is going to win. Alorum coming up again on level 18, highest in the game. He is right now 4 levels over Garika, 3 levels over Huhi. Get him in there. We get the shield up. 5-0-10 Potluck. Crushing the game as well. Doing a great job there. And they have 1,450 gold in bounties right now. So again, game swings in the eyes of Golden Guardians, but it's almost a stretch if they can get this next one. The vision they need is there, though. We'll see if they can make it happen. 3.5 minutes on that Infernal. Man, if they can wait that out, that is going to be huge. They do have Zanya's now on a Blaze Olive. Zanya's on to Garika, so he can take that kind of backline aggression, get out a big heal, maybe stall people out. I mean, you remember old Soraka? You would be the one to run in a fight. You're like, give me 100 armor. You just get 100 armor and you just run in there and people can't do anything to you. It's like wet towels being thrown. But not anymore. You got to be careful. And that's the first person that Immortals want, is Gorica. Whether you could reset the fight or not with Soraka, man, they are taking the bananas right now. So top side is going to be a bit of the pressure. 1 minute and 40 on to Baron. 2 minutes and 40 seconds onto that Soul. I don't even know if you want Soul at this point. Scary fights. Scary fights indeed. A Blaze Olive just to the side. They're going to know where he is, but they know now that Golden Guardians is a bit split. Immortals roaming in their jungle. We're going to see Zion Spartan pushing out just a little bit. He doesn't want much more than that. He goes out to about second tier turret, and he's going to have to run back here. You can whoop, bip, bop, beep, boop, bip, boop, bip. There he goes. Yeah. All right, he's going to go back down towards the bot. You can never tell with Zion Spartan, you know? He's Darshan, he's Zion Spartan. He's doing the lane, he's not CS in the lane. What is he doing down there? You never know. He is going to have TP up, though, because that's what he was waiting for, running back and forth. Now that it is going to be up, he feels more comfortable clearing that wave if the fight were to pop. As we take a Josh at the Spartan, man. Been playing pretty well this game, 4-3-3, 267 on that CS line. And he does have his Randuin's up. It's still that Negatron cloak. It's been there forever. Peppered Farm remembers. Ooh, back to the mid lane. Look at Gate on the side. Gate and Potluck. Potluck can dive in. Gate can get that grand entrance off of him as well. Oh my word, this looks scary. They don't have enough vision. They don't have vision on their shoulders. The left and the right shoulder are huge. Hard takes a bunch of damage. That's the first guy that needs to go in for initiation. Oh, showstopper back, but it's not going to be much from Zion. He can only get that to separate a champion out. A few kills coming in from IMT, and they're going to be able to drop hard first. It looks like more are falling, but it is Insanity that goes down next as they trade the Retribution kill. A Blaze Olive falls down, and that's where it starts to look really bad for Golden Guardians. You lose that mid lane damage, that mid lane utility, and there's not much that you can do. Slow pressure here onto the mid lane. Alorum has his teleport, so it looks like he's going to try to get it back on, but maybe fend it off. They don't have a minion wave that's instantly crashing in. They've bought more time. Baron's up. They do have Apollo up, so they can easily get enough damage onto this. He's got the Lord Dominic's Regard, Rapid Fire, Infinity Edge, BF, or Bloodthirster, and the Essence Reaver. He is absolutely crushing it down. And at this point, it just seems like without having a marksman this late in the game, you're looking at not enough consistent damage coming in from the team of Golden Guardians. You have Apollo freely sitting on the back, a way to save himself, and you're already dealing with Gate rushing in and just charming everybody with the quickness. So if you have that constant damage, I mean, Orianna does it, maybe a Rise on the other side to get a bit more of that AoE, a bit more machine gun damage coming out, if you will. But right now, it doesn't look like Golden Guardians has this fight unless they instantly take out Apollo on the backside. And even in the front side, they're able to get a big damage in there. Alorum's taking one out. He instantly solos out one in Gorica. That's going to be hard going down as well. This little split there, and I couldn't tell who was falling on which side. It's just not stopping either. They're right into the mid lane and out of position and out of time. It looks like Golden Guardians are going to lose themselves on this map and be swept up by Immortals, going up against the 2-0 undefeated Golden Guardians coming into week 2, but it's not going to be that anymore. They will tie themselves up here at the 2-1 position. Beautifully, beautifully done here by Immortals. Coming out strong. Alorum again towards the top side. 4-1-0. Almost 2 deathless, but Paula coming out at 5-0-14. And Immortals now putting on the finishing touches of Golden Guardians Nexus here to take the victory 40 minutes in. Absolutely awesome game from both teams.